Welcome back. Let's continue honoring the area's best, and we're now going to get to the wide receiver room. 6 players altogether landing on the team.
And we'll begin with Conway's Jordan Jenkins. This big 6'5" wide receiver was a North and South All-Star selection and a member of the Region 6 5A All-Region squad. Jenkins led the Tigers in receiving, helping them get to the playoffs in 2025.
And then just to the north, Loris's Jacobian Lewis capped off an incredible high school career, playing 2 ways for Greg Mance's team, 708 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. And then on defense, just as good with 60 tackles and a pair of interceptions from the secondary.
Carolina Forest's Nick Zanconi was one of the leaders in that all-powerful Panthers offense, leading the black and maroon with 976 yards on 46 catches, about 11 trips into the end zone as well. He was also our Week 10 Grand Strand Player of the Week, a fantastic senior season.
You want to talk about a fantastic year. South Florence's Jayon Perkins was one of the best in the PD in his position, catching 55 balls for 956 yards with 13 touchdowns, helping the Bruins make another run to the state championship in Class 4A.
Wilson's Myquan White put together a great year. The receiver just shy of 900 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns. He totaled over 1,300 all-purpose yards with kick and punt return duties. White is committed to playing football at Anderson University.
And our final receiver is Shrine Bowl participant, along with Mr. Football finalist, Samarius Robertson of Dillon. He led our area with just shy of 1,400 yards on 72 catches, along with 15 touchdowns, helping the Wildcats advance to the 3rd round of the postseason.
All right, to the guys up front, the offensive line, Carvers Bay, Zion Giles, the South Carolina commit, is ranked as one of the top ones in the entire nation. A key reason why Carvers Bay ran for over 3,000 yards as a team. Shane Beamer is getting a great one there in Zion.
He certainly is. Another great one, Josiah Mason from South Florence, was a Shrine Bowl participant and an all-state selection for the Bruins. He ran everyone off the line, leading a talented offense that averaged well over 40 points each contest, and he played in 4 state championships. Talk about a resume.
Yeah, quite the great resume there. Latta's Zach Page chosen to play in the North and South All-Star game. He was one of the lead blockers for Fisher Richardson on the ground. Page, a 2-time All-State selection, carries a 4.0 GPA into the classroom as well.
Doing it in the classroom and rounding out the 5 on the line. They include Aiden Starnes of Hartsville and Ethan Cash of South Florence. Both were Touchstone Energy Bowl selections representing the PD region.
All right, that's the offense. Let's turn our attention now to the defense, and we'll begin with the guys up front that stop the run and get to the quarterback.
And we're going to start in Hartsville with Chris Price. He was a Touchdown Energy Bowl selection, standing at 6'3" and 275 pounds. He can certainly stop the run. Price is committed to North Carolina A&T, and he's quick on his feet, running a 4.9 40-yard dash. I definitely can't do that. He was first team All-Region 5 4A.
Neither can I. West Florence's Jamie Williamson, a Shrine Bowl selection, has committed to play ball at Charleston Southern. Williamson was also named to the Class 5A All-State team. The senior, 78 tackles, 17 for a loss this past fall.
Loris's Damari Thurmond and Landon Connor anchored that strong defensive line. Connor had 55 tackles, 20 for loss, and led all of Class 3A in sacks with 15 this season. And Thurmond finished with 67 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 interceptions. He's committed to play ball at South Carolina State.
And 2 more defensive linemen, Dylon White from Green C. Floyd's, along with Anthony Cunningham of Carolina Forest, who had 45 tackles and 7 sacks. White played in the North and South All-Star game in Myrtle Beach.
Now to the linebacker room. Our first linebacker this year's Blitz team is Dillon's Daniel Capehart. He tallied 110 tackles, 4 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions, while also posting 251 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns on offense. He was also named the 2025 Shrine Bowl.
Andrews edge rusher, linebacker, defensive end. Chris Stewart named to the Region 6 2A Defensive Player of the Year after posting 88 tackles, 22 came for a loss, and 10 sacks during his senior campaign. Here he is at signing day, and he recently signed to continue his career at Western Michigan.
Now jumping back over to Dillon and the Wildcats with linebacker Carrion Brown. Brown tallied 114 tackles. Those guys over there at Dillon like to tackle, 5 of which were for loss and 3 sacks. He was named to the 2025 North-South All-Star game and led Dillon to the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Myrtle Beach linebacker Antonio Brown was all over the field during his senior season. Check out this stat line. 90 tackles, 11 of those coming for a loss, and also 2 sacks on defense. But he also lined up at running back, totaling 430 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns out of that Rhino package for the Seahawks. To South Florence now with the Region 5 4A Defensive Player of the Year, Terry Gordon. The standout linebacker finished his senior season with 90 tackles, 31 of those coming for a loss. That's pretty darn good. 16 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, helping the Bruins get to that state championship.
And then rounding out the linebacker group is West Florence's Romello Patterson. The Coastal Carolina commit had a stellar senior season, racking up 94 tackles, 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and 5 sacks. You can see him wearing the teal next season for head coach Ryan Beard and the Chanticleers. And moving over to the defensive back position, starting things off with Waccama's Adrian Great Jr., who played both ways for the Warriors. He racked up 20 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 5 interceptions, and 2 defensive touchdowns, all while rushing for over 1,400 yards and 16 scores on offense.
Did it for a long time there at Waccama, did well. How about Darlington's standout defensive back Orion Smalls? Had himself an incredible senior year, one that landed him on the North and South All-Star team. He finished his final season in high school ball with 72 tackles, 7 for a loss, and 1 forced fumble and a recovery.
Heading back to South Florence as Bruins senior defensive back Amari Reeves put up some video game numbers during his final season. How about 52 tackles, 8 interceptions, and 6 touchdowns for a defensive back, all which helped lead the Bruins to a 4A state championship berth.
And last but certainly not least, Johnsonville's Takari Ross rounds out the 2025 All-Blitz team. The Flash's defensive back finished the season with 47 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions on defense, and on offense, pretty good. 512 yards and also 5 touchdowns for Ken Cribb's bunch. And that